in the Philippines or in the United States, most people don't actually carry, right?
Yeah.
The gun for me is a deterrent. But it is against the law to carry a gun if you don't have the proper documentation for that thing. And it's against the law to carry a knife. So we're fucked, right? Because the criminals really don't care.
Correct.
Okay. Get your training done. If you're really interested in self-defense on how to defend yourself properly, self-defense is for me, a 2 second action. So that basically means, what do I mean by a 2 second action? You don't finish the fight, right? You engage into the conflict so that you can fucking run away. And that's the idea. So if you do it in a three motion movement, like what they've been teaching me a long time, you parry, you get the elbow, di ba? You try to break it. If you can't break it, you push them down and then you fucking run away. Get away from the conflict. It's a 2 second motion.
Yeah.
That's the idea of self-defense, is to live to fight another day. Because most of us are not really fighters. We're not in law enforcement. We are not in the military. We are fucking civilians. So why the fuck do you want to kill somebody?
Him and I can't wait to interview him. There's a lot of folks who are also waiting for this interview, especially for the shooting community in the Philippines. He actually also volunteers his time in teaching a lot of the law enforcement in the Philippines. So, very good guy. We can call him his Renaissance man also instead of a cleaner, but I think he likes the cleaner better. So, what else is there? If you guys miss an excellent interview by JV with the inventor and the creator of the anime Combatron. So go ahead and watch that. We have a lot of videos that came out. We were not here during Thanksgiving, so we're enjoying it with family, and hopefully you guys did too. So without further ado, I think that's basically what I want to talk about. No, actually, I have an event coming up January 16th. It is a Zoom class, distance management with HDC. So hopefully you guys can join on that. Next year, coming January 13th, we have the Taste of South Florida. Do not miss that. We have a lot of instructors teaching, and it is a good event. And I think we're actually having dinner on a new Filipino restaurant there. So, okay. So let's go bring Casie in. Joining. There we go. Hey, good morning, Florida, and good evening, Pilipinas. Medyo malamig ngayon dito. Below 70 kami, so I gotta wear a long sleeve. So, but if you notice, I'm sporting our old shirt. Probably this is like 5 years old. Spades. This is where I met our guest today, a special guest, Casie the cleaner. So we have a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things. This guy is my idol. He's doing stuff that I wanted to do that I can't do. Well, didn't have time to do it, but this guy's doing almost everything that I wanted to do. And kudos.
Hindi ako pwede basta-basta, ikaw ng landas.
So ang girlfriend mo is Maria?
Marie. No. My girlfriend is, that's my daughter's account kasi.
Okay.
That's my daughter's account. So ang girlfriend ko ay Mika Paula.
Mika Paula. Okay, shout out, and I will hopefully will meet her Bale, uwi ako ng February, so maybe I'll meet. I still owe you a shirt, by the way.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I remember that.
So, kumusta? Actually, talk about the shirt. Nakaka-up, 5 order na ako, 5 designs na.
Wow, ang
The shirt,
galing.
yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, because of you, thank you for that connection. So,
No problem. I
kumusta
think
naman?
Mike is very happy with that.
Oh, thank you. Actually, they went live, like I think two nights ago. They're giving freebies, free giveaway.
Kita ko ano yung pinapanood mo.
Ha?
Tingnan mo. Why yung ano mo?
Ang galing.
Yung post mo ngayon.
Did you post something?
Wait. I don't know.
Let's see who is. Yep, we are live. Hopefully, some of our audience will give me a thumbs up, making sure sound check is okay and everything. So before we get to our discussion, so kumusta naman? I will jump from topics to topics, but the one that concerns me is you had a concert or you did a live show with your band a couple of days ago. How was that? Tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, that was the sort of like the 40th anniversary of the punk movement in the Philippines. And that was the relaunch of an album of it's called Arms Talk by The Woods. It was a really big event here. So we had in attendance, around 15 or so punk bands.
Wow.
And it was a very enjoyable experience. Unfortunately, it was also very hot. So I think that contributed to my demise during the last 2 songs of the set. I couldn't hold myself up anymore.
Damn. But you did finish the gig, right? You finished your...
I finished the gig lying down.
Lying down,
that was the nice part about it.
Well, the good thing about that, people are grunge dancing out there, and it looks like you were too. So it really fits, right?
Yeah.
Taga pala ako nag-i-English. Tagalog na pala tayo.
Ano ba? Tagalog ba tayo?
Tagalog. English ako na English.
Pwede naman pala. Okay.
So, yeah, when I actually, nung napanood ko yun, medyo na-concern ako, but you still keep going, and the band keeps playing. So, hey, that's the way it goes. The show must go on, yeah. So,
correct.
So for the people who doesn't know who you are, I mean, actually,
I don't know who I am. So there's a lot of us out there who don't know who Casie Villarosa is.
Correct. So I met you through a mutual friend,
Yes.
Eric Acosta,
Yes.
and actually,
that was like some 7 years ago, maybe.
Probably about 6 years ago, and
right. Yeah.
as soon as we met, we clicked, and it seems like we've been friends for a long time. Balik na naman ako sa English, Diyos ko mo.
Well, it's not hard to like you, Paul.
So nagsimula nun.
Generous guy.
Oh, thank you. Nagsimula yun kasi you guys wanted to learn knife defense. Am I correct?
Yes.
In-approach ako ni Eric, sabi ni Eric, hey, yung grupo ko gustong mag-knife. Actually, I wasn't into firearms or shooting back then. So, wala talaga ako alam mo. Yeah. Nung nag-meet tayo, sabi ko agad sa inyo na mahirap talagang compose ng drill or ng knife defense if you're not a shooter. So actually, it became your responsibility and Eric's responsibility to teach me deeper into firearms.
Just the basics.
Correct.
Right.
Kasi marunong man akong bumaril. It's just no proper training. Being in,
Everybody knows how to shoot, man.
correct. You just click the trigger, right?
You know, you can ask all of the guys out there, and 100% everybody thinks they know how to shoot
Correct,
until they actually do the damn thing and hit shit, nothing.
correct.
Uh,
So from
especially
there,
at 3 meters away.
correct. Then from there, you had two instructors, am I right?
Mhm.
Including me, and that's how we started
Yes.
our friendship, right? So and it was so far it's a great friendship, and I was actually accepted on when you were still a member. Are you still a member of the Spades, by the way?
No, I quit. I quit. I
Right.
don't
But
like
you-
the association anymore.
Okay, but I'm still proud that I'm in there because you guys are the one that took me in, right? So
Yes.
I think you were the president before Eric, am I right? Or was it after Eric?
I was no. I was never president. I never
Oh, you
liked to be president. When our president got sick, he told me, and when he got sick, I just remained as vice president, and I did not want to be president or anything.
Yeah, you
Because,
act like you're in charge, no?
but that's my point,
Correct, correct,
When
correct, correct.
when I was vice president, you can do more things than being a president. Because presidents, they have to go through this protocol and stuff and shit. They'd have to ask for the advice of the members. Well, if you're vice president, you can just, put your foot down and everything, they probably believe you anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
long as you made a lot of sense.
Okay, so let me see. Why is it my? Hopefully, did you guys, by the way, get the link on the live? So at least making sure you can share it, Cassie.
Uh, I think, man, can you open the conversation between Paul and me? And is that the live? Okay. It's on my wall right now.
It's on your wall. Okay, just want to make sure
Yeah.
it's there.
Yep.
Um. mm, Okay, copy link. For some reason, I'm trying to monitor also our guest. Just baka may mga magtatanong. So, for the people who doesn't know who Cassie the cleaner is, let us know who you are by overview. Sino si Cassie? You got the mic, bro.
Okay. So my full name is everybody. By the way, the spelling is wrong. It's a Casie, Charlie Alpha Sierra India Echo. Single S because the Casie Cassie is basically Cassandra. So, so the shortcut for Cassandra is Casie with a double S. And my name is Casimiro. Diba? Pabaho anong pangalan. Oh. That's why Villarosa third with the subtitle.
Yeah.
Lintik lang ang walang ganti. Di ba?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my name, Casimiro Villarosa Jr. And I started my adult life in the adult industry. I joke. I started my adult life of history and arts at St. Scholastica's College. And I'm a graduate of De La Salle University. And 3 years into teaching, I transferred to De La Salle University where I became a university lecturer for around 9 years. And then after that, I got this grant scholarship from the European Union. And from there, I was piloted by the United Nations Development Program in Manila. So I joined as a United Nations volunteer, and I spent 3 years of my life in the UN system. And that really sucks. So after that, after changing careers, I decided, fuck, I really want to go back to my art. And that basically means I wanted to go back to my music. And during that time, I put up a small recording studio in the house. So I had clients who were doing what do you call that? Live stage plays. So I was doing the musical score for that one. At the same time, I was making up for so many lost time by composing a lot of songs. So during that time, I probably wrote around 127 songs. And when I was younger, back in college, I was in a band. I was in a band called Insurgency. Because those were during the martial law days. And during my time, if you are not an activist, then you're shit nobody,
Correct.
right? So my mom told me, do not go to UP. So I passed UP for fine arts. And my mom said, your cousins are all going to De La Salle. I said, my cousins are rich. We are fucking dirt poor. How can we afford De La Salle University? So after a year in La Salle, my mom was taunting me to transfer to another college, to another university, one which she can afford. So during that time, I already started working. I worked in a printing press, R.O. Santos Printing, and I worked there. And of course, through friends like Dave Rivera of some, because I was involved in a lot of NGOs, environmental NGOs. And I borrowed, I gave them drinks so I can use their computers to study computers so that I will not be obsolete in the future. And by the time a year has passed, I was already an expert in desktop publishing, Adobe PageMaker, and stuff like that. And I was doing graphic arts. And most importantly, I was doing video editing. Because, my master, you remember there was Mowel Fund in the Philippines.
Yes, I remember that.
And Sir Reyes was the director and founder of Mowel Fund. Well, he recently died. Anyway, thanks to Sir, you know, people like Dominic Gamboa, Raymond Rend were all enrolled there. And I told Sir, I cannot afford this shit. Can I just sit in your class? And he allowed me to sit in there with all of these future great directors. So I really owe him a lot. And I learned through that. And by the time I was connected with the United Nations, well, I bought some equipment. Well, of course, most of it the office bought for me. And that was the first time I was able to use a Mac. And that was a really nice experience using a professional platform for my video. Because before, a long time ago, when I was studying, it will take you around 2 hours to render a 10-minute video. Well, with the Mac, that's around 20 minutes of render for a 10-minute video. It's just double the time. And the Mac can do so many pleasant shit. Well, anyway, in 2001, I had my own recording studio in the house. And a friend of mine tried to convince me to answer an ad in the paper looking for directorial staff for a live show that will run 365 days in a year. And I said, that's crazy. Diba? Most of the season runs in season.
In season, yeah.
This one is 365. Oh, this one is
That's every day.
365 days in a year. That's every day, including Sunday.
Yeah.
Including holidays and shit. And the owners are Korean, apparently. And I said, fuck, I don't want to work with Koreans. Because what I know with Koreans are, fuck, they were the foot soldiers for the Japanese.
Back
Right?
then, yes.
During World War II.
Yeah.
And probably they were the guys, raising their bayonets as they put children up in the air. So I really don't like, most of the Orientals' attitudes, I really don't like during that time. I had this, how would you call that? I had this prejudice attitude towards the Orientals. Because they think they own fucking Asia. So anyway, I got into it because my friend, would not leave my house if I didn't hold my ass out of the house. So I gave in, and then I met a Korean guy, and I liked him a lot. Eventually, he became my very good friend, and we had sort of a falling out lately. But anyway, he was the vice president of this company before. So I stayed on with the company despite him and all of my friends leaving the company, and I stayed on. So now I'm still here and I'm fucked as they are.
So you got into fine arts and computers at an early age when no wala pa masyadong
When no
computer.
one was doing it, yeah.
Correct.
I remember my first computer was an 8286.
Correct. So
Ran on a floppy drive.
floppy drive, correct. Actually, dapat lasal din ako dati, napunta ako ng pamantasan because I want something different. I took not computer engineering, but I'm doing programs, right? Yung sa floppy card or
Languages.
Yes, correct, right?
Mga ano yan, COBOL,
Yeah.
diba?
Galing graduate ako ng Don Bosco, so marunong ako ng mga technical sa electricity, yung mga lines and whatnot, right?
Yes.
So, ganun lang ang program, papataguin ko. Yung sa akin, pag pinasok ko dun sa computer, tumatakbo siya. Hindi siya tataas ng grade ko. Sabi ng instructor, you can be a very good computer programmer. But sa isip ko,
Yes.
I don't hindi ko alam ginagawa ko, bro, kasi ginagawa ko lang. Nagko-connect lang ako ng line. Yes, no, di ba? Pag no, tapos hihinto yung program ko. Kailangan, galing ako ng technical school, so napapa-under ko siya, but in reality, I don't fucking know what I was doing. Pinapa-under ko lang pa.
Or I think maybe maybe you were not as interested.
Well, kasi back then,
Right.
wala naman masyadong computer, but I like the drawing of the program. But that's behind, So,
Flowchart.
flowchart, yes, flowchart. Actually, to be honest with you, you know for a fact that I'm a pharmacist, so I finished all the chemistry. I hate organic chemistry, but I hate general chemistry, but I love organic chemistry. Kasi organic chemistry, para siyang may flow. There's a picture that you can draw and you can, yung atom dito, pupunta sa isa, naiba yung usapan natin, but that's okay.
Okay lang yan.
So, back then, nung natututo ka nito, you said it's around martial law, so marami talagang mga riots and marami rin mga protesters na nangyayari, di ba? So, I mean, how old are you back then? I mean, if you don't mind me asking. Still young?
Well, I was probably
college?
early teens, maybe around 14, 15.
Yeah,
And my
medyo-
father was a cop. My
Ah,
father was a police officer.
yeah, so medyo pag may rally talagang magulo, di ba? So hindi na magulo. Magulo lang pag malapit sa Malacanang. So may recto. I mean, ano ko yung mga yan eh. So I know, wala talaga masasakyan. So balik-balik or whatever doon sa may Quiapo, sa ilalim doon ako sumasakay. So pag may rally, wala kang sasakyan, maglalakad ka. So from that fine arts, meeting the Korean guy who owns a company, anong nagawa niyo mga program?
Well, actually, we did run shows. And we've been running shows since then up to recently before the pandemic for 365 days a year. And stuff.
That's a long time, bro.
And we did this for what, 20 years? Dang. 19 years, 18 years.
Yeah, probably more than that now, right?
Well, yeah, but
Not-
our branches now, when they have day offs already.
Oh, they have day off. Anong pangalan ng company, by the way, since we're talking about that? So just people.
Amazing show. Actually, the full name is Center for Philippine Arts and Cultural Entertainment Association Incorporated. Na, ang haba, di ba? Pero the trademark name is Amazing Show.
Amazing show. Also,
So you have Amazing Show, Manila, Cebu, and Boracay.
Since pag-uusapan naman natin yan, so tell us about that company and what the show is all about. Oh, by the way, bago mo kasi bago mo sagutin yan, Ramon JZ is a fellow ex-Spades also is
Yes, yes.
here. He's saying, Sir Casie, pakwento yung mga pag-save nyo sa isang taxi driver na ginilitan ng, ng liit.
Yes.
Isang request Sir Casie, destino sa mga conflict places kung saan may mga matitinding conflict talaga. Badass po si Sir Casie at biker rin. Inabangan ng mga masamang loob pero nalaman niya kasi kaya sabi niya sa mga masamang loob, game, ayan, takbo yung riding in tandem. Ayan, maraming kwento dyan, so we will get into that. But for now, we'll go with no self-defense yet. All about shows and whatnot,
Yes.
okay? Go ahead, Casie.
Yes.
What is amazing show?
Well, Amazing Show, basically, well, I tagged it the Philippines premier theatrical family. It's a wholesome show, well, basically for the family, including children. There's nothing bold about it, except that for the fact that we employ the most gorgeous and good-looking transgenders of the country.
And that's been going on for 18
Since
to 20 years.
2001, yeah,
Man. Good. Go ahead.
it's been a long time. So we started with a small capitalization, and then of course, 5 years later, we're really very big. So I made my bosses rich and his family. And that's the fucked up thing. I forgot that I should have included myself.
No problem.
But that's the problem. Soldiers are soldiers, you know. Some people were meant to be soldiers and just follow goddamn orders.
Now we're talking about transgenders that are very, very nice looking. Am I correct?
Yes, yes.
I mean,
You know,
go ahead. Kasi I know when I did it before.
pageantry.
Correct.
Pageantry in the Philippines is a big thing.
And
Gay
they are
pageantry is really a bigger thing in this country.
correct.
Because, you just wonder, they don't get pregnant, yet they multiply.
Correct.
So you wonder how the hell they multiply. So during that time, I was thinking it could be an airborne virus. So, maybe some transgender would sneeze and, you'd catch the virus and next thing you know, fuck, I'm gay.
But you have
Because,
three. You have three branches now, huh? Dati nung na-meet
Yeah.
sa Manila lang only, right? And then you opened one in Cebu or in Bohol.
When I opened Cebu in 2003.
Oh wait, may Cebu nga
So
pala. I'm
Cebu
sorry.
has been around for the
I'm sorry.
longest time for 20 years already.
So Manila,
And
Cebu,
they also have Boracay, which I
the one that you opened, I think it's a hotel, di ba?
Manila, Cebu, Boracay. The one that we opened is a hotel in
In Bohol.
Panglao.
Panglao, yeah. My mistake, you're correct. Yeah. So, anong klase show ang mga ginagawa nila? Please? Where did Casie go? Hello? He froze. Wait lang, guys. Waiting for Casie. He froze. Nawala si Casie. Hang on, guys. Okay, we're waiting for Casie. Medyo naputol. Let's see if I can connect with him. Ito tayo. Messaging him now. He's still there. Oh, yep, he disappeared. Oh. Okay, he's getting back in. A lot of stories, guys. Amazing show. Actually, nasa Manila sila and they're also in Cebu. Now they're here, one in Boracay. They have a hotel in Bohol. So maraming ventures ang nangyari sa kanila with Casie. Personally, I haven't seen the show, but I was always planning to. Actually, sa Cebu, I was supposed to go, but I did not make it. Traffic. So he said he's coming back in. Let's see. Okay. Hey, Ramon. Yeah, there you go. Admit Casie. Okay. Where'd you go? There you go. Let me unmute you. Mute. As unmute. There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
I can see myself.
Yeah, your video is off. Let me see. Mika. There you go.
There you go.
So tell us about the show.
Okay. But the show is a 1 hour show. It's intended for the Korean tourist market originally. It's actually intended for the tourist market in general. So everybody who comes to the Philippines, well, during that time, Manila was a little bit profitable because there were no international airports outside of Manila. So everybody who went to the islands of the Philippines, they had to pass through Manila. So that's why we started the theater in Manila. But of course, right now you have Mactan International Airport in Cebu. And you have in Boracay, you have Calibo International Airport. They probably have like 12 flights in a day international. So now, Manila has become a really, really bad spot to do tourism business. Because most of the foreigners, they really don't want to come here and experience, our wonderful, wonderful traffic. You can probably pass by a department store and get off the bus, shop, and your bus will still be there. Oh, man. I think we're worse than Bangkok nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, where is the show located in Manila?
It's here at the amazing show Manila Film Center inside the CCP complex, Cultural Center of the Philippines complex in Pasay City.
Pasay City. Ang sa Cebu, nasaan ang sa Cebu?
Cebu is in Bagong Bayan 2 in Mactan Island.
Oh, Mactan Island.
So around 20 minutes from the airport.
Okay.
And Boracay is Station 2, right?
Oh, Station 2.
Right behind the red coconut.
There you go, guys. So if you
we're
guys
at the center of the action.
and see the show, go ahead and contact them.
Yeah.
Don't mention our name.
Yeah, you mention my name, you get it free.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably.
So, Ramon said, but shout out now, Casie.
Shout out, inaanak, Ramon, JC, George.
There you go. Sabi niya, he stopped drinking alcohol, pero pag si Sir Casie ang nag-invite, napapainom talaga, even me. So,
I'll
So,
drink
from,
that. Cheers.
cheers. Maaga pa sa akin, hindi pa ako pwede uminom. So, by the way, so from fine arts, how did you get involved into firearms?
Well, okay, I've been carrying firearms for a long, long time. I mentioned that my father was a cop. So my father always told me, you need a permit to carry, diba? PTC4, permit to carry outside of residence. And then he said, but if you're really good, you actually don't need to get that fucking piece of card. Just carry the damn thing. It's called concealed carry. You tuck in your shirt, you have a gun under your waistband, and if nobody notices it, success. That's
Success,
concealed carry. Because the criminals don't have PTC force.
correct.
Well, my father was kind of like a jerk when it comes to the laws. Despite being a police.
So
He's an
how,
old school cop.
so did the training started from your dad or meron talaga nag
The training started with my dad. Of course, the training was all wrong. It's old school. You know, it's a cup and saucer grip, you know,
Yeah, correct.
the stance, the stances, weaver,
Weaver, yeah.
diba? It's not isosceles, it's weaver. And the shooting range was the river right behind my Lola's house, my grandmother's house. It was a flowing river back then. My job back then was to throw coconuts into the river, and my father said, okay, that's what we call a moving target. Because our coconut would be carried, you know, downstream. And my father would shoot at it. I remember we probably had around 7 guns during that time in my house.
Boy,
But
that,
that's
that
where it
actually,
started. That's where it started. And so, of course, I have a PTC4. I was in business, and I had death threats because of business competitions. Filipinos wanted to kill me because they were paid by this Korean guy to have me killed because he offered me a job and I declined because my loyalty was with my boss. So ended up having all of these death threats. So I ended up, you know, securing permits for my guns and stuff like that. And during that time, I met this guy who trained me properly, and you know, the important thing is you know the phrases, you know the gun parts, well, you know the vocabulary. That's the important thing. So you're all
yes.
speaking the same language. And then I met some guys because of business. And then one of my friends introduced me to this guy who was the founder, chairman, and president of the Civilian Defensive Shooters Association, CDSA. His name was Jim Reyes. He was really a very, very, very good instructor. Kudos to Jim. Because despite the fact that I hate him, bottom line is he was one of the best instructors I've ever had. Okay? But of course, I think maybe the best would be this ex-policeman guy who trained spades, and he's a really nice guy. And he does it in a really cool, relatable way. And I think that's the important thing. You can relate, you know.
Yes, correct, correct.
One time,
Actually, I mean, honestly, guys, actually, Cassie, to be honest, you are a very good instructor. It's actually entertaining, also learning from you.
yeah,
Ito lang yung masabi ko mas for the guests. When Cassie, when you met Zach, right? We were goofing around
Yeah, yeah,
upstairs and we're doing stuff that we're not supposed to be doing if you have a firearm, right? We go downstairs and I binulong ko kay Zach. Watch, Cassie's gonna change from a comedian upstairs to a serious guy downstairs. And then sure enough, when we went down, you changed. But still, hindi naman military style, but yung seryoso na, when the gun comes out, it becomes, and kudos. I mean, I love that. Actually, very impressive, Zach, when you did that.
thank you,
So-
thank you. Well, I try to be serious sometimes. And so it's really an effort on my part.
But yeah, the training that you had and the stuff that you taught that day actually is amazing. Actually, brand new ako shooting, marami ka nang pinagawa sa akin. Hindi pa dapat, but the way you taught me, I ended up doing it. And then when I came to the US, I went to my instructor and showed him what I learned. He goes, holy crap, why are you doing that already? So,
But
But,
what I really hate about some instructors I know, they tend to withhold information. Maybe they get paid by the hour or something.
yes.
That's why they're withholding all of this information. It's like teaching somebody how to play a guitar. I mean, I can teach any fucking moron guy who doesn't know shit about guitars, and I can give him 1 hour and promise he'll know one song.
Nice.
Just one song.
Yes.
And one song, he can go home, he can practice that over and over again until his wife shouts at him and says, shut the fuck up. But he's gonna do it in 1 hour.
Yes, I remember. I mean, I don't know if you still remember. I asked you to teach me once we see each other. So,
Yeah.
and you said you're gonna just show me like 4 keys or whatever, and I go, you
Yeah,
you
four
get it.
chords and that's
Four chords, yeah.
you get the logic, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So from there, from the shooting, I know you're a very expert. So tell us anything encounters like what Ramon is saying. The 2 encounters that you have, if you can tell the story of what happened there. We're talking about self-defense now, right? So
Well, okay. When we talk about self-defense, because you just mentioned that I'm a comedian. So, diplomacy is still the best.
correct.
There was one time when I was like 19 years old and I was playing the bar. I heard the familiar click of a firearm because they were requesting for Boulevard. You know that song? I don't know why you said goodbye. And I really fucking hate that song. It's a fucking top 40 song, which I hate. And the spotlight was on my face, so I couldn't see who was requesting. So I had the tissue paper, and I had 20 pesos inserted in the tissue paper. And with a handwritten note, please play Boulevard. Okay. So I said, I am so sorry. It is not part of my repertoire. Okay? And then I heard this. I heard that cling cling sound. And I said, what the fuck? I said, I don't know why. And I finished the guy. I'm not gonna fucking die because of one fucking top 40 music, If you know it, fucking just sing it for the heck of it. That's 20 pesos. That's probably like 200 pesos now.
Teka muna kasi, kaso totoo yan, di ba? Sa Pilipinas, merong isang kanta na hindi kinakanta kasi mamatay ka.
Yeah, actually, when General Espina was OIC of the Philippine National Police, he gave me an award. So there was an awarding ceremony in Pasay. So he gave me an award. And, I fell on my chair laughing. Because during that time, he said, I am proposing to all local government units that they make ordinances pertinent to some karaoke songs. That
Yes.
should not be allowed to be played in public because these are murderous songs. People get killed because of this shit. Number one, my way.
My
Frank Sinatra's My Way. Number two, my love will see you through. Who sang that shit? Oh. Ano ba ano? My love will see you through? Oh shit. So anyway, he's too young. He was born in 91. Okay.
Actually, di ba totoo yan? People actually die because when they sang the song, they didn't like it.
That's true. Oh, they didn't like the version.
The version
they
they-
fucking thinking, I can do better than that.
Yeah.
Oh. Yep, and
So-
they end up killing each other.
Yeah. Totoo. Guys, for the people who are watching, especially in the US, My Way by Frank Sinatra, when you sing it in the Philippines, you're rolling the dice that you might get shot.
Yeah.
Get alive. So that you do that in the confines of your own home. Don't do it
So
in
you
public.
just look at the video of Sid Vicious,
Uh,
of the Sex Pistols singing My Way, where he shot everybody up with a six-shooter inside the
Correct.
cinema. That is
Yeah.
exactly what My Way is in this country.
Yep. So go ahead, Casie. Keep self-defense. Go ahead. Sorry, medyo
Yeah, we were off track. So anyway, I think diplomacy is still the best. I saw this one time I was having a game, and my guitarist was quite good looking. So one of the girlfriends who was sitting there, not his girlfriend, somebody else's a patron's girlfriend was there, offered him a beer. So of course, naturally, the boyfriend was a little bit pissed. Took one beer from the bucket, offered it to a band member. And so they were already fighting when I got there. So I pushed myself in between these two guys. And this guy was fucking tall. I'm fucking 5'2", right? I'm 5'2" tall. This guy was probably like 5'10". And then this guy told me, Casie, do not get in between us. I said, you fucking asshole. You beat him up. I can't do my second set. He's my fucking guitarist. So I need him. So don't beat him up. And I got a little bit pissed off. I told him, hey, motherfucker, you can't fucking beat on me. And he said, why the fuck not? Kasi maaawa ka sa akin eh. Ang ligid ko. Ang ligid ko, papatulan mo ako. Gagawa ka, kanino din pakakasya ang mga tao. Kaya pagka hindi mo ako pinatulan mo ako, wala ka isang bucket na beer. Pag hindi mo ako pinatulan, bibigyan ka na isang bucket na beer, okay? O, tapos ang usapan. Conflict, di ba? Conflict number 10. Hindi mo kailangan ng force. You don't need force. Okay. Kailan ko nagamit yung force? Yung kinukwento ni JC. Di ba? Of course, this Korean guy wanted me as his Filipino guy in the Philippines. So he offered me, he said, how much is your salary? The driver went to my office and talked to me. My boss is offering double your current salary. Your boss gave you a second-hand car. My boss is gonna give you a brand new car of your choice. You have your best friend as your bodyguard, and you have a driver who is not trained. My boss will provide 2 PSPO for you. You know PSPO? That's PNP, Personnel Security Officer something. These are trained security officers from the PNP, which he will pay, and that's maybe around 20,000 pesos each. So I get two of them, one driving for me, one bodyguard. So that was the offer. And I said, I am sorry, I am not for sale. So when I of course the Korean got pissed. So he orders three fucking stupid, good looking guys on a Kawasaki HD3 with revolvers. Are they crazy? Fuck, I have a 1911 Series 70. Di ba? Charles Daly. Charles Daly. Fuck! And I always practice at 20 meters. So I stopped my motorcycle at 20 meters and pointed towards them. And it's at the bull barrel. The other guy spoke. Why the fuck is his gun hole so big? And I said, you want to start this fight now? So they all ran away. And I was riding a big bike during that time. So I overtook the damn shit, hit one of the motorcycles, and one of them fell. And after that, the SWAT, are all my friends. And they keep telling me, you should have called us. I said there was no time to call you. I was in a situation I needed to remedy it by myself. And those are the days I really miss because I just survived the fucking stroke. But how you can't do shit, you just collapse. You're so fucking weak. But that's what life is all about. So my advice for everyone out there, if everything is still working, use every bit and piece of that shit.
Yeah.
Because one day will come, you're gonna suffer some seizure and shit. And but you won't be able to do everything that you used to do.
Correct.
You know how many years I've been proud of my dick? My dick can withstand. My erect dick can withstand the weight of a fucking wet hotel towel. And you know how heavy the hotel towel is dipped into the bathtub, right?
Yeah.
I put it in there, fuck, it wouldn't tip over, it wouldn't fall. Now I put baby wipes on that shit, it falls. I think maybe a dry tissue paper and that will fall. You gotta enjoy your.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Oh. What else about actually unstable? Welcome to the next month, life.
Oh my God. So, in reality, marami ka nang na-encuentro sa Pilipinas that saved your life. I mean, that's only one story.
Yes, yes.
Right? So,
That's only one song.
so
What?
go ahead.
This is what I always say, especially to gun owners. I always remember I keep telling you and Zach before, the way you draw your weapon is enough to scare them away.
Correct.
The way you carry yourself on a stand is enough to scare them away. If you're a stupid looking jerk and you're acting all silly and all clumsy and shit like that, even if you have a gun, that's not gonna fucking save you, man. It's your personality, it's your stance, it's how you present yourself. That's gonna be enough. Even if you can't hit shit, if your stance is very good, fuck, that will be enough. Because they will not gamble their lives
Correct.
and wait for you to shoot at them. If they could, oh God, this guy knows what he's doing,
Yes.
right? And that's it, huh?
Correct. Actually, we have when nung nandiyan kami ni Zach, we were drinking and actually before we went there, Zach came to me and go, "Hey Paul, I should love to see Sparrow." He goes like that to me. this one is before I even met you, right? So I said, well, I don't know anybody with, I mean, long time ago, my dad knows, but not me, you know. Matagal na ako nakaalis ng Pilipinas, so wala akong connection. Then suddenly, all of a sudden, you were goofing around and you go, hey, Zach, I want to show you something. you, and man,
it's called the sparrow tail.
correct. And he was so amazed and he was so happy when you did that. It made his day, I mean the night, right? He's like, oh my God, I've been wanting to see how that was done. But
You just need to push it with your fingers upward.
well, the most important thing is the size of your package, right?
Yes, exactly my point. The band Red Hot Chili Peppers, one of the qualifiers for you to become a band member is your dick has to be big. Because sometimes these guys play naked on stage.
Correct.
Well, in the case of the Sparrow, you need a very small dick to qualify. You're gonna put your pistol right in the middle of your trousers, and it's gonna share space with your dick.
Correct.
My dick is definitely small, so I don't have fuck. I have plenty of room for a Magnum 44 just down there.
But yeah, that was one. I honestly saw it on YouTube how the way they do it, but not in person. So that actually the way you showed that to Zach, Zach was very amazed. And then actually nung nandun tayo, you made us do a drill, right? You, me, Zach, and yung dalawang
Yeah.
uh, security ata nung general.
Yeah. Right.
And then it's actually you're right because sabi ko lang kay Zach kasi we outperformed them, right? The guard, the
Yes.
bodyguards, right? Kaso sabi ko kay Zach, ang kaibahan nila sa kaibahan natin, sila pag may ginalaw mo yung bantay nila, patay ka. Tayo,
Yes.
mag-hesitant pa tayo kasi
Correct.
that's not our job. So, with reality, we are the ones who's gonna die, not them to,
Correct.
even though we're proficient in firing, in shooting, So,
That's why I always say diplomacy. That's the problem in some Filipino gun owners here. And that's why I left Spain. There are some members, well, actually, just one stupid member, who's really, preparing for some kind of encounter. But it's not his job. He's not in law enforcement. He's just a stupid guy who probably watches a lot of movies and, he thinks that someday he can use it. A permit to carry outside the president, firearms outside the president is not a permit to kill anyone.
correct.
Same law applies. And that's why, fuck, I hate some gun groups and gun group members in this country. They ask questions in the chat room like, if I see a police officer, getting mistreated on the street, can I help? Like, what's your problem?
Sure,
You're a fucking jeepney and you wanna help? And you don't know the beginning of that conflict, right? You
correct.
have no idea who's in the right, who's in the wrong. Do not dip your finger in all of the sauces that you see.
Saka totoo yan, kasi dito sa Amerika, marami rin actually, a few days ago, I think last night, may mass shooting again sa Texas. Yung ibang tao, tinanong din ako, bakit yung mga gun owner, the guys sa Walmart, at Walmart, there's a shooter, right? What happens to the gun owners, people who carry guns? They're the first one who's finding the exit. which is the way it's supposed to be. Akala kasi ng mga tao, people think because we're carrying, we should stay put and fight. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
Our job is to go home to our family and be safe.
Yes.
If need be and I can't get out and I'm trapped, that's when the only time the gun's gonna come out.
You're against the wall, that's when you fight.
That's when you
There's
fight.
no way out.
Correct. So man, that is a lot of guys, a lot of advice. Actually, my partner June is saying he's missing out with everything. I wanted you to meet him, June. He's with
Yeah, we're real anyway.
he's with his kids. He's he's doing Uber driver. So um Xander Real Velasco's gave you some hearts. So
Oh, thank you, thank you.
um
That's my
So-
employee.
so also Epi Opejas also saying looking good, Manong Paul. So that's me. So
Alright.
amazing interview. The next question that I have here is ang tanong kasi nila is why are gun shooters so afraid of people who have knives? It's not only in the Philippines, even in the US. For some reason, yung instructor ko rito sa Florida is very afraid of knives. I mean, we're not talking about drawing or having carrying it, but it seems like they have no training on knife, and then they're always scared if a guy, let's say there's a game of sparring, they don't know what to do.
Prior to meeting Lincoln, and prior to meeting Guro Gerald Pilapil, shout out Guro, okay? Because you two guys are my instructors, right? So anyway, prior to meeting you, fuck, I was afraid of knives as well. Because
Bakit
you
nga?
know, what manner of death would you prepare? Guns or knives? Fuck, getting stabbed is like shit. You know you're not gonna die so easy.
Yes.
A bullet wound with a sheer impact of, let's say, a 9 millimeter traveling at 1,650 feet per second, the impact of that is enough to cause a traumatic heart failure because of the trauma generated by the speed of the bullet head, right?
Yes.
But at night, fuck, somebody's gonna make a turkey out of you, carving you. Fuck you. Fuck you. That's gonna fucking hurt, man. So
Yeah.
not everybody's afraid of a knife. So I think it makes sense that, gun owners are afraid of knives. But it's like what I said. When I was in college, we were offered, somebody offered me, Casie, what self-defense program you want to go into? You want to go into karate do, combat karate, ninjutsu, taekwondo. I said, fuck, I'm joining the shooting team. And you guys are gonna be doing this shit? Wow! What? Bang! End of business, right? See? Because dying with a bullet with lead is a hell of a lot easier, I think. And everybody thinks that. It's a hell of a lot easier. That's why I will always tell my students, caliber does not matter. You get the fucking biggest gun, you do a 44 Desert Eagle Magnum shit.
Desert Eagle talaga.
Correct. If it doesn't hit you right, then you're safe.
You're safe, correct.
The bigger caliber, they're harder to control. And it's hard to get a hit from the bigger caliber. The professional assassins, what they use? 22 LRs. Pero dito long rifle cartridges,
Uh,
ammunition. Because,
precision.
one, it will not penetrate the skull. But if you shoot right between the tip of your nose and the eye socket, fuck, it's gonna go into your brain. And it's not gonna come out. 9 millimeter, if the bullet head comes out, you're probably safe. They'll have to stitch you up later on. But you'll probably be safe, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
because
World War II, the
they-
Germans got it right.
yeah.
Because
So-
they've adopted every technology that they've developed some fucking 70 years ago. Right?
Yeah.
And my number one question is this. You know, the Secret Service, they went into the best of both worlds thing, the 40 caliber. You see that motherfucker is tight. So the probability of a jam is higher.
Oh,
Okay.
good evening there, Casie. How are you?
Good evening, I'm very fine. Thank you, thank you.
So, nasa ka ngayon? Nasa opisina?
Probability of a jam is higher compared to a 9 millimeter or a 45. And they said it's the best of both worlds, you know. It's so fast, it's also fast. Right? 45 is like a fat and slow. 9 millimeter is like thin and
Thin,
right?
fast, correct.
Velocity is high. So 40 must be the best.
Correct.
It's somewhere in between, right? Or a 10 millimeter is the best. But, and then the Secret Service adopted that shit. Remember that Clint Eastwood film? They were
Yeah.
using a 40 caliber during that time. The FBI adopted that thing. Now, my question is, why are they fucking back with 9 millimeters now?
Right.
Because it's harder to hit the fucking target with a fucking fat, slow bullet.
Correct.
Right? Oh, and that's the idea.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, like,
so
what
actually,
you gonna say?
the funny thing about that is when, yeah, the funny thing that I was saying is for gun owners who never had martial arts, they're always saying, "Well, I'm just gonna shoot you, right? If you're doing a martial arts." But in the martial arts world, if you if you take a gun out, their mentality is, "I will take that gun away from you." So
yeah,
actually, there's
exactly.
there's an incident one time when it's me, Zach, June and his wife Sharon. We were out eating in a Korean restaurant, and I asked, they go, "Are you guys carrying?" I know Zach's always carrying, you know, and June said, "No, I'm not," and of course his wife is not, and Zach looked at me. He goes, "How about you, Paul?" I go, "No." "Well, I know you are. What if something happens in the restaurant?" And Zach looks at me and goes, "I know what the fuck's gonna happen." I go, "What?" "Fucking Paul's gonna take the gun away from me and it's gonna finish the fight."
Yeah. Correct. That's the idea.
The mentality of I mean, back then when I was doing taekwondo, tangsudo, and hapkido, I did practice disarming firearms. I mean, tutok sa left side, I can manipulate that. But no firearms training, am I right? Now that I learned how to do firearms, honestly,
yeah, because
I
take
will
the
give.
weapon away from them, and you don't know what the fuck to do with that shit weapon.
Correct.
That's a
Correct.
problem also.
That's the problem also, correct. But now that I learned how to shoot, I will not dare to take. Not unless I know,
exactly.
unless I know that they're gonna kill me, then I will fight. But if they want something, I'll give it to them. So, you know,
Correct.
it's a pull the thing, the little pressure on the trigger. By the time I do this, it might click. I am done. So,
And you'll be gone, right?
correct. And I know people are simulating like doing, you know, putting like pellet guns and whatnot, it's still different because
fuck.
the consequence is not the same. You make one
You know,
mistake and you're done.
I have videos of me and Gerald doing exactly that shit. He comes at me with a knife from probably 6 yards, 6 meters away, and he's testing how fast I can draw that shit from that distance.
Correct.
Hey, out of the 10 video attempts that we did, he probably got in around 7 stabs during that time from my concealed sparrow carry position.
Uh-huh.
So I think the lesson of the story is that if there's going to be a conflict, your dick should be hard so that it pushes the gun upwards. Yeah, there's a punchline waiting there.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. So, but we did test that, am I right? And actually, I was talking to somebody last night, and
Videos together.
oh, that's good. That's good.
You
Maybe
should-
we can
you
share
should-
that. Yeah.
You should show them our videos. It's in my video page in Facebook.
Actually, we also made a drill before when I gave you the command on arm's length only, am I right? I go
Yes.
draw the weapon that you want. That's a little bit
Right.
harder to draw the gun. That's
Yeah,
why.
and the most I remembered was that after I broke up with my ex-girlfriend, we had a lesson in public with the SWAT of Pasay, and you
Correct.
beat the crap out of me. I am fucking broken-hearted. Now I'm physically broken.
Ikaw lang kasi
Hindi.
ang magaling gumalaw dun sa mga yung mga SWAT ako din. So, hey, but that was a fun event, though. By the way, actually,
Yes, I really loved it.
you did do a good job performing
Thank
what
you, thank
I
you.
showed. I mean, of course, sa beginning, ikaw muna yung uki ko, right? You're the one I'm throwing around. But afterwards,
Correct.
I mean, you did a very. I mean, even I think the SWAT team appreciate what I said, even especially yung stepping back to protect the gun.
Yes.
Lalong natatanggal
Correct.
sa, and I said step forward. So but that's another issue.
With all of my years in teaching people how to shoot, I added one more step to your step. It's not only stepping back, it's stepping to the left, to your left, and then back. You know
And then
why?
back. Correct.
All of my students, they fucking shoot left. On the target board,
On the target.
they hit the Charlie on the left side of the target. So that's my right if I'm facing him. So
Correct.
if that happens, I draw my weapon simultaneously, stepping to the left and then back. And then the weapon is drawn, you're ready to fire.
Correct. So for the people who doesn't know, can you explain what happens, the reason people shoot left, and how to correct that since
Okay.
we're already on that topic?
It's because of the, let's, man, where's my orange gun? Okay, anyway, so I have shit, okay, center into the camera, okay. The proper grip is like this, okay? Proper orange one, okay? This is the proper grip.
Is that a new gun, Casie?
It's Taran Tactical.
Yeah, that
The
looks
one
nice.
used by the one used by John Wick in John Wick 2.
John Wick 2, yeah, that looks actually really
Unfortunately, it's an airsoft.
nice.
This is what I play with all of the time. I keep telling you about packaging. Everybody knows I carry every day. So, since the pandemic, I've not carried.
Yeah.
But nobody fucks with me because they all know I carry.
You carry, correct.
Right? In the drinking session, I show them my dick and it's a fucking 9 millimeter dick, right? So everybody knows I carry. So you just project it out there. I carry all of the
Yeah.
time, anytime.
Anytime,
And
correct.
then when you don't carry, people still think you carry.
You carry,
So
correct.
nobody fucks with you,
All right.
right? You touch your shirt, everybody's in a fucking panic mode, right? Okay, but Casie is angry now. Let's not piss him
Let's
off
not
anymore.
correct.
That's the idea. So anyway, the reason why people shoot left, okay? Okay, I got my orange gun, courtesy of you. I
Correct.
got it from you, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
I
yes.
got it from Paul. My orange gun so you can see my fingers clearly. Okay? Is how you carry. The left hand from the heel of your palm is supposed to cover everything. Cover up the spaces that are not covered. So it's gonna look like this. There you go. Top view is gonna look like that. See? So your thumb is pointing towards the target. Your trigger finger, which is at the slide, is supposed to be pointing towards the target. It's so easy to slide it down so you can actually shoot.
Shoot.
Okay? The reason why they're shooting left is that the support hand,
It's weak.
the modern pistol is basically designed nowadays to be supported by both hands. It's not like in the olden days, during the pirate days, the pistol was invented as a secondary weapon. Of course, in the military, this is still a secondary weapon. So you can shoot with it with one hand. But the problem with one hand shooting, because there is no support, okay? The tendency of the recoil is to go back and left. Because it's plain open here. And that's why you have the thumb resting on the slide is to prevent it from that slide. Now, how much pressure should it be? There's a lot of argument over that. People say right hand is 30%, left hand is 70%. Some say 40%, 60%. Fuck, I don't give a shit. So long as you're fucking hitting the target, even if you're holding it this way, I don't give a shit. Okay? And that's the idea. But for the proper grip, if you don't support your weapon properly, then you are going to slice a little bit to the left.
A little bit to the left.
And
correct.
remember, that bit of a slice and what we call the flinch. Flinch is the anticipation of the shooter before the gun, a millisecond before the gun goes off. So, if you anticipate, then you're already supporting it too much. If you're supporting it too much, then your bullet will probably go to the right
To the right. Yeah.
because you are anticipating. Or, because you're anticipating, the bullet will go down because you're already pushing on the gun downward so that it will not recoil upward. The anticipation is a bad thing, but you can cure that shit with a headset. Play some fucking classical music or rock music. Man, can I have cigarettes? Diba? Play some classical music and shit like that. You know, you blur out the actual sound,
Yeah.
diba? Of the firing. And that's gonna help you a lot.
Yep. So guys, if you guys notice, okay, we saw the expert Casie teaching us a little bit of firearms handling. So that is actually pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Can you imagine if you anticipate your orgasm during sex? You're not yet there, but you're anticipating the damn thing. Fuck! You're gonna shoot left. Probably shoot right. There.
Shoot left, shoot right.
You're gonna miss your
Yeah.
shot.
So from a standpoint of self-defense, now knowing what you know with a lot of proficiency with guns. Now you're getting trained with knives. I mean, in reality, that one drill that we did that I have videos, we were arm's length and you can protect yourself very well. And even actually had the chance to pull the gun just by merely going 45 to the right or 45 to the left. Am I right? Ano pang masasuggest mo na kailangan matutunan ng mga tao for self-defense besides that? Besides that too.
You know, in the Philippines or in the United States, most people don't actually carry, right?
Yeah.
The gun for me is a deterrent. But it is against the law to carry a gun if you don't have the proper documentation for that thing. And it's against the law to carry a knife. So we're fucked, right? Because the criminals really don't care.
Correct.
Okay. Get your training done. If you're really interested in self-defense, on how to defend yourself properly, self-defense is for me, a 2-second action. So that basically means, what do I mean by a 2-second action? You don't finish the fight, right? You engage into the conflict so that you can fucking run away. And that's the idea. So if you do it in a 3-motion movement, like what they've been teaching me a long time, you parry, you get the elbow, diba? You try to break it. If you can't break it, you push them down and then you fucking run away. Get away from the conflict. It's a 2-second motion.
Yeah.
That's the idea of self-defense, is to live to fight another day. Because most of us are not really fighters. We're not in law enforcement. We are not in the military. We are fucking civilians. So why the fuck do you want to kill somebody? Biblical or something?
Yeah, tama. So actually, I don't know if you know Vince, am I right? Borland.
Yeah.
Vince.
Yeah. Vince is a friend.
Yeah. So actually,
he's one of
Go
your
ahead.
guinea pigs too. He gets beat up a lot too, just like me.
actually, last night, I just remembered this. Meron siyang sinend sa akin na video na two military guys who are doing knife sparring sila. I think the other guy is Filipino, the other guy is itim, right? So he asked me how to defend it against the taller person.
Taller person?
And
Everybody's taller than me, man. You have to remember that. So I just asked that question.
So since ang sagot ko sa kanya, problema dun sa, I think yung Pilipino yung isa, problema dun sa Pilipino is he went sideways with a knife. So exposed siya dito. Yung itim naman, diretso siya with a knife protecting the middle. So nag-play na sila, napaatras ng itim yung Pilipino, but at the end, nakaslice yung Pilipino dun sa kamay. But in reality, I told him, kung i-continue mo yung sparring na yan, manatalo yung Pilipino kasi he was sideways.
Yes.
Okay? Yes. Sabi niya ngayon sa akin, paano ko di-defend yan? Sabi ko, if I'm in a military, I will sacrifice my left hand, sabi ko sa kanya. Kasi kailangan tapusin ko yung laban as fast as I can. Kasi nasa military setting tayo eh. Pag sinacrifice ko yung kamay kong ganon, tinaga ko dito, open yung liig. I should finish it right then because kung tatagalin ko to ng let's say 30 seconds, baka yung mga kaalyado niya is lumabas, barilin ako sa ulo.
Correct.
So,
diba?
different mentality kasi asa army ka eh. You know, you have to you're not only supposed to survive this one guy, there's other guys coming. You know, you know, and sabi ko ngayon kung ano yan, kung nasa street ka, then you just have to face the opponent, but you gotta make sure walang kasama. Ang problema, ang kadalasan naman sa Pilipinas, ang mga masasamang loob, they don't come in a single attacker. They're in a
They
pack.
come in a pack.
Correct.
Right. They're just like fucking wolves. Pack of
Correct.
wolves. Right?
Kaya,
Because the mentality is cowardice.
correct.
Diba? If you're in a pack, you're probably a coward. Because you cannot
Yep.
stand by yourself.
And the only way to stop, I mean, I know for a fact in the Philippines, pag may dala silang knife, bumunot ka ng knife, lalaban yung mga yan. Bumunot ka ng baril,
Correct.
tatakbo yung mga yan.
Correct.
So, and also depending on kung saan ka nakatira, kasi sa Amerika, bumunot ka ng baril, baka bumunot din ng baril. Nag-freeze na naman si Casie. Hello, Casie. You still there? Hang on, guys. Ang ganda ng conversation. Nawala. Hang on for a second. Frozen. Okay. Bumalik ka na.
Okay.
Hello. Sorry.
My internet is all fucked up.
No, it's okay. So,
again, welcome to the Philippines. Mabuhay.
So from the standpoint ng it also the society dictates that, am I right? Kasi ang Philippines is a knife society or blade society, samantala sa America is a gun society.
It's a 1911 society.
Correct.
We're also
So,
a 1911 society.
Correct. Ang
Because
daming,
that's what the actors use in the films.
yes.
They rarely use a Glock. And even in the American films in the late 80s, all of the bad guys were using the Glock. The rappers were using the Glock. The military was using the Beretta, right?
the Beretta,
The
yes.
military was using the Colt 1911.
Correct.
Series 18 version.
Yeah.
It's all about packaging and what people actually know. You pull out a Glock, people will laugh at you. It's a fucking toy.
Toy, correct.
Of course, nowadays, it's a different story because the Philippine National Police already carries a Glock.
A Glock.
So
yes.
everybody's carrying a Canik, a Glock, Beretta 92 FS, and stuff like that.
So in a sense, you got into all this self-defense and whatnot. Ngayon, sa picture mo sa naka-samurai ka. Do you know any Japanese martial arts?
Well,
I know. I know you like to collect stuff, so that's one thing.
Yeah,
This guy likes to collect stuff, so he's
so
also
right now
collecting.
I'm wearing a Japanese kimono right now.
Kimono. Yeah.
Not because I know the martial arts. I love the history of Japan. And I love the fact that their weapon system is fucking way advanced compared to the European, like 1,000 years ago. And these guys are really cool. The sword made. I can't even imagine scientifically how they would purify the iron ore. Or how did they know that you have to strike it so many times and fold and unfold, and the soft, squishy part of the metal should be inside and not outside? And how the fuck did they physically do that shit? And yet they did. And you have Japanese swords nowadays that has been in existence for what? 2,000 years? As old as Christ? Damn. If Christ had a katana, the Romans would have had their day.
But tama ka dyan, am I right? Most of the Japanese sword, I mean, ni walang kalawang yung iba eh. Samantalang the
Correct.
European is natutunaw na. They have to put it in a case because to preserve the
Yes.
metal. You know, totoo yan. So,
So I'm just fascinated by their very rich history and culture. And of course, I spent some time in Japan, so it was really, really a wonderful experience. Experiencing all that they had to offer, all that they had to offer.
so here, one of my students, Javier, said hello, good morning from Chicago. So hopefully one of these days,
Morning, Javier.
one of these days, we'll visit the Philippines and they will see the shooting range downstairs on the ground floor. By the way, tell us something about where your office is. I heard it's haunted.
Well, it's a haunted building because apparently 149 people died during the construction of this building. The urban legend says that the former First Lady ordered that the cadavers be left in place and just pour quick dry cement on top of everyone so that there will be no problem with the schedule or the timeline of the construction. I really disagree with that. It is urban legend because no good engineer will or contractor will allow that to happen because after a few years you'll end up with cavities inside your cement, and that would compromise the structural integrity of the building. And this building has survived how many earthquakes when so many buildings has fallen down and this building is still around. The glasses are not broken. Look at the glass beside me, facing fronting Sofitel. They're
Oh,
still alive.
that's still the original glass.
That's
Holy
still the original glass.
Wow.
We've not replaced any shit. The only damaged glass I had at the back was because of a fire. Because the fireman broke it.
I thought you said a firearm. So,
Because of the fire. And the fireman broke into that glass to allow air to escape. So that's the only damage that we have. This building is fucking strong. I lick the post every day for 20 years, and the post is still the post. My tongue feels different. The post is still the post.
So, why do you think they abandoned that building? Because of the legend, or just because money
Because
to
of the
construct it?
urban legend, in the 1990s, this was the passporting division of the Bureau of Foreign Affairs, or the Department of Foreign Affairs, DFA. And so, people were feeling weird. So after the earthquake, people were afraid. So after that, they abandoned the building and they transferred to another building in Ross Boulevard. So, it's all perception because I've been here 22 fucking years, man. Okay, can I feel something? Of course.
Of course. I
Even
felt
if you're
something.
taking, even if you're taking a dump in your house, you'd feel something. Anywhere you go, you'd feel something. Especially if you have a preconceived notion of what this place is.
Yes. Correct.
The first time I entered here was October of 2001. I called my friend. Man, I have a problem. I think I'm gonna be holding office in this fucking spooky building that looks like a mausoleum, and apparently there's over 100 ghosts in here. So I said, oh my God. So he said, let me give you a piece of advice, guys. You go to the scariest room that you can find right now.
In the building, yeah.
Diba? In the building, take out your dick, make it hard, jack off. Why the fuck will I do that? Because if you jack off in front of all of them ghosts, the ghosts are gonna say, we can take this bastard. This bastard is mean, man. This guy is fucking different. We need Satan for this. That's my secret why they never haunted me. Jack off, baby.
But yeah, I mean, that you've been there for a while, and then the first time I went
Yeah.
there, people are telling me, "Oh, that's haunted, this and that." But hey, I have friends in there. I'm not afraid. If they're in there, I'm in there.
Yep.
So,
Right.
so
And
go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, in the ghost, they don't like guns. And I have
They
a
don't like
lot of guns, right?
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
you know, of course, during the pandemic, I sold some of them already.
So with all these things that you've done, right? I know you're also an avid motorcycle. You ride bikes.
Yeah.
Um,
Right now, I have a Rusi Classic 250, 250 cc bike.
do you think in the Philippines magiging para siyang Thailand or Vietnam na majority
I
will be
think-
motorcycle?
I think
Are we
it
going?
already is. It already is. Second, you got motorcycles left and right. So of course, the most famous in the Philippines are called the Kamote riders.
Yes.
I think in English you should call that the sweet potato riders.
Correct.
They're like fucking flies. They're like driving a car. Somebody will overtake you on a corner. You're turning right, and somebody will overtake you from that side.
From that side, correct.
You're bound to hit them. But of course, if you're skilled enough, you're not gonna hit them, but you get pissed off, right? But it's okay with them. That's the culture. They're
Yeah.
like fucking flies all over shit. So my car is big, so I'm like the shit.
Yeah.
They're all over me.
So do you think do you think that in the Philippines drivers, not only motorcycle riders, you think their driving skills will get better, and yeah, hopefully it gets
Well, hopefully it will, because the laws are in place. Well, actually, the laws been in place for a long
for a
time.
long time. Nobody's
Oh.
nobody's following it, or nobody's enforcing it.
It's like the gun laws in the Philippines. It's so easy to get a gun in this country. But nowadays, they made it a little bit harder.
Well,
But I think
is it
they are reaping the benefit.
correct? I mean, I know for a fact that it's easy to get a gun without a license because we have people manufacturing guns in Cebu. So
Yeah.
that's the mecca of gun, copy
Mindanao.
Mindanao. I mean, we
Right.
can copy a 911 pretty easily and then sell it to the black market, makes it back to the US,
Yeah.
and they're selling for millions.
Yeah, and they're manufacturing full automatic weapons, machine
Correct.
pistols. Dang.
Yeah. By the way, have you seen I think there was a rifle that was created by Filipinos. I don't know if it's working already, if it's been out in the market. That was like 5 years ago when I saw that. But do you think our country should be making our own weapons and ships and
Actually, we have the facilities for that in Bataan.
correct?
There's a big camp in Bataan, which legislatively speaking was meant to make weapons, ammunitions, armaments for the Philippine military. Unfortunately, I think it's just a little bit of mismanagement.
Yeah.
And because, our bright minds are somewhere else. They're probably your neighbors, right? The bright minds are there, and they passed UP physics with flying colors and their fucking doctorates, but they're not here. They're somewhere
They're not
else.
here. Correct.
Oh,
Well, actually, I mean, I've been telling
they're
people
actually
this.
there.
Cassie, you are one of the badass person I met, a Filipino badass person that I met. I'm seriously, there's things that you're doing that I'm like, man, this guy is, for me, it's like the Renaissance man for me. I'm like, he can sing, he can fucking do art, he can do computer thing, he can shoot, he can fight, he's funny, ladies man. back then.
The important thing is funny.
So,
That's the only important thing for me.
so the main thing that amazes me is all these things you can do all at the same time. How do you find the time? How do you find the skill? I mean, if
How
let's
did
say,
I find the time
yeah,
to develop all of this shit?
correct.
Well, just like my mom, I am a diabetic now. And I've been a diabetic since 37 years old. And I'm fucking 56 now. My mom was diabetic. It's a gestational diabetes because of getting pregnant with
Hmm.
me. And she was diagnosed at 30 years old when she became. And she died at 56. And during that time, I was in college. And after graduation, because I'm an only child, so I had no choice. I had to earn the money. I couldn't afford the help. So I had to change diapers and take care of my mom together with my dad. And then I have to provide for the food on the table and everything else, like utilities and shit like that. So during that time, I was sleeping only 3 hours a day because I had three jobs, two part-time and one full-time. During that time, I was a university lecturer. And that would have been the boring career that I would have had if my mom did not get sick. That's why I always say mother knows best. Because the sickness of my mom gave me the opportunity to develop other skills that was quite rare for some people so that I would earn extra income. And that's the best thing that happened in my life. Because when my parents died, I was on my own. I said, okay, now it's time to focus yourself on yourself.
On yourself, yeah.
That was the time I developed a career. That was the time we founded this company. But of
Wow.
course, not everything turned out well. But during that time, man, I was at the top of my game. I was on top of the world. I ruled. But of course, life is like that. You rule for a certain period of time, then you get deposed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Then your body gets old. You develop diseases that you inherited from your parents. They didn't give me money. They
Yeah.
didn't give me an estate. Fuck, they gave me diabetes and sinusitis. I already talked to my children. I talked to my two kids. I told them, oh, right, I'm gonna give you exactly what my parents gave you, what your grandparents gave you.
Yeah.
And they said, what did they give you? They gave me diet or take one of each.
Correct, one of each. Well, I know what you're talking about.
Also.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about because I mean, most Filipinos, diabetes and heart disease are hand in hand. So, hey, by the way, guys, for the people who are watching, Casie drinks, he smokes, he eats what he wants, and his
Because everybody
diabetes.
dies.
Correct, and that's one thing that amazes me. And like I said, when we started the show, he actually had low blood sugar, and he fell on the ground, and he still keeps playing. That is one great, uh, person there.
Yeah,
So,
you guys can friend me on Facebook and look at the videos by yourself.
yeah. By the way, so your nickname Cleaner. So I just saw that on your Facebook, so I used it, and I asked you if it's okay. You said it's. I like that. So
Yeah,
tell me
it.
something.
Nobody told me the truth.
So why Cleaner?
Because my job basically is in any organization, entity that I join into, I end up being the cleaner. Because somebody will fuck up, like in this case, the business that we have now. Who else will fuck up? My job is to clean it up,
Correct.
clean up the mess. So it's called damage control.
Damage control, yeah.
When I was in the other organization, same shit. You know, stupid members will post some stupid shit,
Then you have to
leaving
clean it up.
houses in their underwear. And that's really bad, you know. With your child holding the camera in front of your fucking the barrel of your shotgun, that's really stupid, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes, yes, yes.
now my motto is this: no organization. So many organizations come to, like the mga mason, di
Yes.
ba? Yung mga agila. Lahat ako niligawan yan para maging member. Ako pwede ng mga ganito. All of you are my friends. Mason, that's a cement guy. What about the electricians? What about the carpenters? What about the plumbing guys? The plumbers, right?
Yeah.
And for me, an organization should not be a shield. You use
Yes.
it para you can radiate character, radiate authority. But that means you're a weak ass person, right?
Yeah. So,
That's what I hate.
at the present time, you're concentrating with your band, right? Tell me something about your band.
Okay, I started playing professionally at the age of 16 in small clubs with the band that I formed in college. It's called Insurgency with two of my high school friends. And that Insurgency band, well, was disrupted because in 1989 I was invited to join a band called the Scalawag. And that really took off. And so my career in the music industry really took off during that time. Yeah. Like semi-famous or almost famous.
Almost famous, yeah.
But of course, I see now that that almost famous thing is enough for me to get back into the circuit, to get back into the scene. And now I am back with my band called the Marginals. That band broke up in 1990, and I formed a new band called the Marginals, and that's still the band that I'm carrying on now. All of the members are new except for myself.
Mhm.
I founded the damn thing anyway. So, and now we're still here.
Your daughter
Now
can
I'm
sing too, am
playing
I right? Does your
I
daughter
guess.
perform also on stage? Not yet.
No, she has a regular 9 to 5 job.
Oh, now. So not following dad, huh?
Well, maybe she'll do that in the future. But I
Oh, by
always
the
say you
way-
have to do that in your teens.
Correct, correct. And your
You have
daughter
to do
is
something great.
whatever you know, your daughter knows too. So she can shoot,
Yeah.
she can. So
Yeah.
I'm very very happy on that. So
Yeah.
I know we're getting into a 2 hour mark. We got 8 minutes left. Anything that, I actually love this interview, to be honest with you. So hopefully by next year,
Thank you, my
siguro,
man.
ibabalik kita uli sa show kasi marami pa tayong kailangan pag-usapan. But
Yeah, yeah.
anything that you want to promote, band, your business, your amazing show.
I'll just give a piece of advice from the top of my head. Life is about enjoying things. The more things you do, the bigger the probability that you'll enjoy life. If you're stuck in a fucking 9 to 5 job, if you're not happy where you are, get the fuck out of there. That's my simple advice. Get the fuck out of there, or stay there so you can watch them fucking burn. Right?
Yeah.
That's the idea. If to pursue happiness, you're in the United States, so what I gave space for the tagline, di ba? The pursuit of eternal sexual happiness in
Correct.
space.
Team Spades, yeah.
Because if you're not fucking having sex, fuck, you're a fucking loser, my dad. If you're
Well,
using
this-
your own
yeah.
hands to jack off, dad, you're in a bad place.
So this has been a very entertaining morning, man. I have to get up actually at 7:30. So, but this is I've been wanting to interview for you for a long time. So maybe sa February again I need to set up something so we can meet up. I'm always relying on Eric kasi malapit lang
That's
si
not
Eric
a
sa akin eh.
problem.
Yeah. By the way, so where do you play? Where's your band playing mostly? So at least
We play
people can.
everywhere.
Okay.
But Eric is always at my gig, including Mindy and the family.
Bro, so give me
So
a place. Yeah.
shout out to my number one band supporters, the Acosta family.
The
I
Acosta.
love you guys. You are everywhere where I go. You're always there.
Yeah, Eric is. Yeah, I mean, we had him on the show. I think 2 or 3 years ago too. He talked about the gun laws in on the show. So maybe we'll get him in here again one of these days. But a place close to BGC. Do you play somewhere in BGC or Makati?
That's the saucy fucking place. I play in a punk rock band. I play on the streets. I play in cheap clubs. Oh, I did play Makati before. It's a place called New Orleans.
Okay.
And that was a really nice place. But my face is not for that place. Only the beautiful people play there. So that's why when I play there, I told them, this song goes to all of you beautiful people out there. I would just like to say that most of us are ugly sons of a bitches, so fuck you.
So you play everywhere. Give me a one place that you're always there, so at least people know where to find you if they want to watch you.
It's a place in Malate, in Manila. It's called Lunamar.
Okay, I
It's actually a fucking girly bar. It's a girly bar, which we transform every time we have an event into an events place.
an
But
events
it's still a
place.
girly bar, so you can table some chick and stuff like that. You can touch some boobs while listening to punk rock. Diba?
So malapit lang, Malate, not that bad. It's a good place to go
It's
and
like 5 minutes away from the film center on a car.
oh, okay. Yeah, we'll. So for the folks who want to do that, Malate, and then how is there a website for your amazing show that people can book, or how do they watch the show?
Well, there's a FB page for Amazing Show. One for Manila, one for Cebu, one for Boracay.
Okay,
Then
so for people,
type in Amazing Show Cebu, Amazing Show Manila. Depends where you're going.
so if you guys want to watch that amazing show that Casie has started almost 18 years ago, you
22
guys
years
can
ago.
watch that. Yeah. You want to watch him play, it's there. You want to hang out with us, you need to be our friends first.
Yeah, if you want to hang with us, you can hang in our studio, no problem.
Correct. Hey Casie, this has been a very good interview, and I'm actually wide awake because I'm like now I'm like I want to do something. So, by the way, Ramon said antukin ako, dalaw kayo sa Pinas June, and we will visit Casie. So sa February, yeah, we will do that. So
Yeah. JP,
also
pagluto mo kami ng pagluto mo kami ng sisig mo.
yes. Also Neil Tolentino, I think I already mentioned his name. June keeps laughing on our conversation. He just keeps laughing. So he's still playing Uber with the kids. So hey
Alright.
Casie, thank you. Let me end the live
Okay.
stream, guys. And then wag ka muna aalis sa Casie, okay? But I'll end the live
Thank
show.
you.